G'day guys. Said I was going to do a video between modded and unmodded gold monsters. So on the table there, that is a factory straight version. It's not modified in any way, shape or form. And what I have got it on though is I've got it on a new coil that's come with a new gold monster, which I did modify because the guy wants it in a hurry. So that's why that's done. So we'll test it on the 0.05 and just see how we go. This is an absolute pig of a thing to set up like this. Everything's sort of just balanced. I've got it wedged with a coffee cup there to keep the coil sort of straight. And yeah, the only way to do it is like this. Cleared away all the metal, so there's no interference. And at the moment, it's on its full auto, all metal, deep mode, as much grunt as you can get out of this thing. And we'll just see how it goes on 0.05. So we'll just start off around here somewhere. 10 centimeters, 9 centimeters, 8. It is on, yes. 7, 6. 5 centimeters. 5 centimeters on that mode. So I better write that down in my book here, or else I will forget. So this is not modded, and this is full everything. So I'll just write 5 in my book. So let's go into we'll go into the gold mode, and we'll just see how it goes in the gold mode, just for the fun of it. It'd probably be woeful, but we'll see. Six, fade out. 5. Gold mode, 5. So, oh, that's exactly the same. So we'll say that's 5. Okay. Let's get this and drop it down. I'll keep it in its all metal mode just for fun, and I'll drop it into its first manual mode. We'll see how it goes. Well, it should be better. I'll be very precise, and I'll get it exactly where we get a clear signal. 7.5. Oh, crackly at 8. 7.5. We get a clear signal. I want to go for clear. I don't want to go for these breaky type setups like that. So yeah, okay. That's 7. That's 5 there. 5. Okay. We can try it in different modes. We can put it in that mode there in manual, see what it does. Probably be no difference, but we'll see. $7.5. As soon as you get away from 7.5, it gets a bit ropey. So it's full manual. It's around about 7.5, same as what before. So we're looking at 7 for manual and 5 for auto. So what I'll do now, without disturbing anything, this is damn difficult because you got this tiny little light coil on this massive, heavy, springy cable, and as soon as you undo something, it'll want to go flying. So I'll just turn him off, and I know that it'll move. I don't want it to move. I want to keep it exact. So please don't move. It's like dealing with a spring. Okay. This is the modified version here. I'll put that exactly, where was it? Somewhere around there. I know I was hard up on the multimeter because I use the multimeter to know where I actually put it. And here, without moving anything, don't move. There we go. If anything moves, it'll give different readings. So I'm trying to keep everything identical. And when I say try, I mean try. Okay. Power on. And see where I left this one, what mode it was in. Okay, audio's half. Okay, it's full aggressive auto in its deepest setting. So what we'll do, that's a little bit over 8 centimeters. Okay. Now the other detector was getting it at 5. So if I take this into 5, have a listen to the difference. Six, 7, 8, 9. Gets ropey. So that's a really big improvement. That is a big improvement on a modified detector. Told you it would. People use these and tell me that it goes a lot better. Okay, let's try a different mode. Let's try its discrimination mode. Settle down, please. Thank you. Yeah, it's a little bit of interference, I think, comes from the wireless microphone and the camera, but we'll see how we go. 0.05, we'll see what happens. Nearly get it out to 10. That is amazing. That's amazing. Nearly 10. Wow. 10 against 5. Work that out. Okay. Let's get off. This will go into manual. So we'll get out of the auto modes. And we'll go into this. It's picking up a little bit of interference. It calms down. It's gone away. So where are we? Okay. So this is full manual or metal. That's 10 centimeters. That's 11. Not really cutting the mustard there at 11. 12, nothing. 10, there's your gold. So, very interesting, isn't it? Well, I think it's very interesting. I'm out at 9, and that is a whopping signal there. And the other one was doing it at 7. 7, 8, 9. How much gold did you walk over? But anyway, that's it. I mean, it can't be any more plain than that. That is modified, the new one, and I'm using it with a new coil, which actually came with that detector. And the other one here is, it's just a standard. Obviously the coil's going to pick it up, but I'll turn that off. I don't want to blow it up or anything by waving this in front of the coil, but this one here, that's just standard. I haven't touched that one. So I think that proves that modifications to these actually work, and you get a lot more grunt out of it. So I wonder if anyone will work out what I did to it to get all that extra grunt. I don't know if they will. They might. They might. They might not. They probably won't know what I've done, because I try and hide what I do very carefully now, and even lacquer over the boards where I have done work, and you know, that makes sure that it can't easily just disseminate itself out there into the detecting world, because I'm sick and tired of coming up with modifications that everyone else goes full commercial on and starts offering it to everybody. So, you know, if that keeps happening, eventually I just won't do any mods and keep it all for myself. Because you know, it's nothing worse. I mean, you know, what could you call it? It's like what is it? Like they got a word for it. Like I can't remember what it is, but you know, it means along the lines of if people copy you, you know, it's meant to be a good thing. I don't think so, but you know, I don't know if Minelab's happy with the Chinese copying their detectors. Do you think they're happy? I don't know. Have to ask Minelab that. But that's where we are with this detector, by the way. Like I say, it's got the coffee cup there. Brand new coil. Someone put their name on it. So whoever, I know who GW is, but because it's written on the paper that come with the detector. But GW, that's your detector. After it's been modified anyway, you'll see it how good it goes out in the field. And oh, I forgot to show. Damn it. Hot rocks. No problem whatsoever. I'll just eat it for breakfast. Doesn't give a stuff about that Kalgoorlie hot rock. Eva detector doesn't care less about the Kalgoorlie hot rock. That's non-existent. So that's very good. So this one here, Mr. GW, your detector is on fire. Goes really well, really well. You should be really happy with that. So yeah, like I say, I'm pretty sure it's brand new. Yeah, it always gets me. Warranty void if removed. Normally they put that on the screws, but on these you can just pull them apart. It's no problem. So yeah, it's even got the screen protector still on it. So I'm pretty sure it's brand new. And there is a little bit of deviation in the coils I have noticed. The other detector that's come in doesn't have a round coil, but I have a round coil. The one I pulled apart. Where is it? Where is it? And I've done a little bit of work. Well, I had to do a little bit of work on the coil because I had this coil and we pulled it apart to do some work on it. Now I can't see it. That's right. I had to move it away because it was interfering. This is this one here. Another roundy. Now, obviously, you can't pull this apart and really retrieve it, because if you pull it apart, I'll show you down here. I've actually shown this before, but you have to drill out all those pillars to get this off because they're glued in. You have to over drill and drop the pillars out where they're slid into each other and glued. So you end up here, and you got these. This is off the top bit of the coil. There, 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 and there. And I actually thought there was one in the middle, and I drilled it. There wasn't one there. It was actually the dimple from the injection molder. But anyway, no big deal. 4 holes in it. I suppose you could do it, but I think it's ultrasonically welded, and it's an absolute you know what to get apart. If you really wanted to do this, yeah, you know, you're not going to be able to reuse this bit. If someone wanted to make these up and you rip the coil apart, I can do work on the internals of this setup as well. Loosen that off, and I don't know if you can see in there, a little analog to digital converter board in there, associated preamplifier. But yeah, like I say, nothing in this world is perfect. Usually everything's made to a price, and if you can save $1, you can save $1, and a lot of companies will save $1. You put out 1 million detectors, there's $1 million saved. So I'm not sure if they put out that many, but that's really good. Anyway, apart from that, I like the from my point of view as a cheap detector for finding gold, and if you want to find all that surfacey type stuff, fantastic. These things are sensitive enough. They'll do a good job, and yeah, it's well built. It's basically, if you look at it, they've done a beautiful, nice lacquer job on the board. They haven't used white paint. They've used a clear coat, but that gets stops all the moisture and stuff getting in there and destroying the circuit tracks and whatever else, because they'll chew out. And it's all protected like that. So, and I think it's got some gaskets on it. I don't know if it's actually waterproof. Is it? I don't know. I wouldn't go dunking in water, but maybe it is. Let's have a look on here. Yeah, it's got gaskets everywhere on it. So it's gaskets there. There's gaskets on the front panel. So obviously, I think it might be. I haven't got into this part of the detector here. I haven't pulled. There's no need for me to pull that off. So, you know, is that waterproof? It could be. Might be. I don't know. Can quickly find out. But well, I've got to pull the other one apart to do the same upgrades as what I did on this. So how about I do pull it apart? How about I pull it apart right now, and we can have a look. Very easy to get apart. First of all, too, when you pull these apart, take the battery out. The other one's got a blue battery. It's got a black battery. The little white, I don't know if you can see it down there. You probably can't. It's probably black as the darkest, deepest well in Calcutta. But in there, you can't see. There's a little white rubbery button. It's got a flat flange. It goes down. It goes that way, right? So don't, when you pull it apart, it'll pop out and fly somewhere. So you don't want that to happen. So basically, what you do, you get a Torx driver, like I'm doing here. Let's pull it apart. Never look inside on this one. Why not? But I do think these are a really good detector, even as a backup detector. If you're running, whoopsie, butterfingers. If you're running a 7000, 6000, or whatever, or you know, any of the other GPXs or whatever. I'm not going to say other brands. I'm feeding. I'm not joking. With pulse induction, not this in particular, but with the pulse induction detectors, you cannot beat the Minelabs. You can't. They are just above everything else, you know. And you know, I'm not, not Minelab's greatest fan, of course, but you think about it and you say, well, show me a detector that works better. There you go. The screws drop out. There it is. That needs a bit of a clean, actually, so I might do that. So that's the internals. Processors under the screen's a good place to put it, same as what that algo thing has. Just use the real estate under there. You pop out the first of all, I'm gonna find my. I can't find anything now because I've moved all the metal stuff away, haven't I? Before I go jump into that, I'll do this first. Just remember this little mylar strip here. This one, please pop out like that. That way, 1.5 millimeters. Take it out. Otherwise, you'll pull this and you'll wrench it. And just pop it out and just leave it like that. Otherwise, you won't have any speaker. Anyway, that's how that works. Now, if it's 4 screws here. Like I say, this is the factory standard. No modifications on this. When you pull these apart, just be careful that you don't put any pressure on the LCD. I used to make LCDs and they're quite easy to, you don't actually break the glass, but where it joins here, it's got like a conductive glue, and if you push it, it'll fracture and you'll start losing digits, but we don't really want to do that. Now, that comes off there. There we go. That's all there is to it. There's that white thing that pops off, this. Okay, so it goes on that way. If you ever lose it, some people put it that way. It won't work properly. I don't think the button pushes properly if you get it around the wrong way. So yeah, there it is. A little programming port or whatever it is there. And that's it. Now let's have a look at this connector. It's full of resin. If you can see, I don't know, I've got the camera back over my shoulder, so I've got to sort of lean. But it's all full of resin in here, so there's not going to be any water get past those wires. And I'd say, looking at that, there's probably an internal waterproof gasket in here. I would say. I'm not going to undo it. There's no need for me to undo that. And the speaker will probably be a Mylar diaphragm type speaker. Same as in the other thing, the 6000. And I think it's exactly the same speaker that's in the 6000 anyway. So that'll be a plastic Mylar. And if you have a look in here, these have a magnet in there. And what happens after a period of time, you've got to be wary of this, is that if magnetic parts are of that thing powdered up that, which is all over the gold field, which is your ironstone, iron particles and that, it'll get through those gaps. It'll just go straight through. And if you do actually use the speaker on this and any of those detectors, what will happen is that it'll build up iron all over the center of the diaphragm, and it'll rattle, and you'll think there's something wrong with the audio. And all it will be is just a build-up of material. You could stop it happening if you wanted to. You get a piece of very fine material or something. I'm not going to say stick it on there, because that's terrible. It'll make it look yucky. It's a good word, isn't it? You could. I don't know how you get a seal on it. Like get blue tack and put it around there and put something. I don't know. It's something I've never thought of actually with this. So it's easy to do on the GPX 6000. You can do that easy. You can actually put something there yourself. What I would do, this is for the game. If you're game enough to do it, you take off that screw, that screw, that screw, and make sure there's no other things biting. This whole plastic assembly will come out as one piece. And you could, if you're feeling very, very clever, glue a piece of very fine felt. Not even felt. What's this stuff called? I don't know what it's called. Oh God, it's a fibrous material. Well, it's basically used in headphones, so you don't get dirt in the diaphragm in the headphones rattling in your ears. So the same sort of material. I just don't know what the hell it's called. You could use anything that if you can blow air through it and it's got enough fibrous material there to stop dirt and small particles, it'll work. But you know, you don't want to go and fill it up with something. But you know, just say for instance, while I've got it here, let's have a look. I've never undone this part, so let's do it. And I think all the screws are the same on this. I'll just check, just make sure, because sometimes you find equipment and screws are different lengths, and what actually happens is you put a screw in something and it goes straight through the circuit board or something like that. I know of cases of stuff like that happening, so you don't want to do that. And anyway, we'll get this off and we'll see if we can stick something behind it. There you go, it comes off its one assembly. Oh, look at that. See, it's already got dust on it. Can you see the mylar there? It's got dust forming on it. And some of those, even though it looks like dust, it's got a brown tinge to it. So that's what I'm saying. It'll start picking up iron. They've got a very small magnet. They're not that strong. So that's all right. But if you, oh God, yeah, look at that. No, I said not that strong. Now it's going to pull iron filings in there, and it's going to give it a hard time. So be very, very wary of that, because if you have a look, you know, you can see daylight straight through that, can't you? So you know what's going to happen. What you have here, it's round. Ooh, it's got some little standoffs here that hold the speaker, because it's a curvature where it fits. So it's a tight fit there, and it's got a standoff. You probably, to do it properly, because I can see where you could stick down some of this material, just put the material there, stop the dirt coming in. You might actually have to snip that little vertical there, because you can't stick right on it and dirt will just get in. So if you cut that one out, and if I have my cutters here, because this one here, I might actually do it to this one, but here, what do? Get your side cutters in there and go crunch, crunch. You're not needed. Speaker will balance. Now you've got a flat surface. Let's try that. Now you get a flat surface in there. You can actually cut a round disc of material and just put some glue, tack it around the edge there, and just push it in, put it all back together, and now dirt won't get in. So, you know, I don't know why it's not done. It's nothing hard to do. And if you just used a very light, like a sticky type glue, like you get on double-sided tape, a little round piece of double-sided tape with a gasket, you could just stick it on there, and if it ever got dirty and clogged up, you just pull it out and stick another one in there. So maybe someone wants to do that as an aftermarket for these. They want to, stop dirt getting into the speaker. I would think that was a good idea. Maybe you do, and maybe you don't. I don't know. The other thing too, when you pull these apart, see the wires are all twisted together. Have a look here. Right? Don't try and put it back together with the wires like that, or if you do that, twist them back the way they were. right, like that. They've got to be in that knotted bundle because it won't go back together. So like so. So just make sure those are all knotted the same way. If you happen to twirl it around and untwist it, you'll get yourself in a bit of bother trying to put it back together. But that's it. That's that GoldMonster there. That needs modifications. That's not done. That's just plain, like I said, as it come out the factory. So I hope you're not all shocked by how much more performance you can get out of these with a bit of upgrading, because you know, seeing's believing. It'll work the same out in the goldfield too. Maybe a little bit less in percentage, but I can't see why. You know, it's comparing apples with apples, not apples with oranges. So we're going to have the same unit. It's going to be working better. It should work better even on the goldfields. And like I say, I tested it with the horrible hot rocks from Kalgoorlie, and eats those for breakfast, doesn't care less, so it's no problem. I think I've exhausted every aspect of these, but I do like it. It's a very neat unit. It just needs a little bit of a little bit of magic touch to it, and it can be really good. But yeah, this one here actually belongs to a friend of mine, so I can do whatever I want to it within reason. He actually wants it modified up, and I'm gonna do that anyway. And yeah, and I'm gonna put a bit of felt in there, or very very fine felt. It's probably got a name. It's like you can get it as a man-made material too, and it's a fibrous white stuff, but I'd use black because black will look good. Not that it really matters. But yeah, I'm just going to carry on and waffle too much now if I keep going. I think that's probably all I want to show at the moment. So that's the GoldMonster saga. Yep, I haven't done any magic, no editing. You saw it as it happened. So if I did something wrong, please tell me. I don't think I did. I actually decided to read the instructions on this GoldMonster before I turned it on, because when I muck around with a lot of detectors, I forget bloody, how you do this and what does that and what does that mean again. Because I'm not using the same detector all the time. I'm using different ones, and after a while it gets confusing. Like sometimes I pick up the 6000 and go, oh God, how does this work again? Or I'll go and test a 7000. Go, God, what does that do again? How do we set that up? Where should that be again? So yeah, I'm getting better at it. Done hundreds and hundreds of damn detectors, and they're all different half the time. So anyway, I'm very very happy. I'm very very pleased with the way that turned out, because yeah, because the last ones I've done a little bit of extra, because you know how, look, someone actually said, right, this is what someone said on one of the, I think it was on Facebook, and I nearly fell off my chair laughing, right? I'll say it how it was said and how I perceived it. It said, I would rather get a detector done by somebody that, who has got the modifications done in a particular way, like that's it, that's all they do, and not an experimenter. Okay, first of all, how did that person ever modify a detector if he didn't experiment in the first place? Secondly, if you don't experiment, you will never learn, and you'll never be able to add improvements. So we all should be driving around in 1948 model Holden, shouldn't we? If that's a thing, with a 138 grey motor in it or something, and get 26 horsepower. Fantastic. So I just everyone's got an opinion, but I've got my own, and I like to fire back sometimes. But that to me is a very naive and limiting thing to say. So, like I say, detectors get you know, different mods, and some people have specifics, some people want this, some people want that. Some people will tell me things to do to their detector that I don't really want to do because it may cause them problems, and they say, no, I don't want that, I want that. Yeah. Then you get the phone call, oh, it's too noisy, or something like that. I go, yeah, shake of head. But normally, with new prospectors, you don't want to go and just load the detector up with knobs, dials, and buttons and switches and things. It's just confusing. You want to try and keep it as simple as possible, and not even have external controls in some cases. People just get bamboozled. As soon as you change something a little bit, it does have an interaction with other parts of the detector. I'm not talking about these, I'm talking about GP X45s and 5s. And yeah, you can, or even GPs and that. And it gets confusing for people. But yeah, try and keep it all simple, keep it internal. Don't drill holes all through the poor detectors. I'm trying to avoid that if I can. That's why I utilize fully variable frequency on the detectors. So you just use the digital manual tuning control on the back of the detector, and you can go from wherever, start to finish, A to B, or whatever you want to call it. And there's no need to go and drill holes through it and put switches on it. Just no need for that, unless you don't know how to put variable frequency in, of course. So that might be that. Variable gain, can't really get around that because that is all operating around the input stage, and normal detectors do not do that. Their gain is controlled way back in the circuitry, so you have no control over ground saturation, or you don't have any control over what mineralized ground or non-mineralized ground you're going over. You're sort of stuck, and to adjust your detector to have more front-end gain on pipe clay is an absolute bonus. I found some of my biggest nuggets doing that. Right beside the road's my one of my biggest ones. But anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of things about these detectors, but if we can automate it, it's even better. And yeah, I won't go on automation too much because you might let the cat out of the bag on something. But anyway, we're getting there with things. Detector project's coming along nicely. The fellows have showed me the new detector and the everything else that goes with it. And yeah, not going to mention anything really much about it because you don't want to. You really want it to be a surprise when it hits the market. You don't want it already to be leaked out there. It's like every Easter. Oh, there's a new detector coming out. Sometimes there is, sometimes there's not. But anyway, enough waffle, like I said. See, that's what happens. We've been going for 38 minutes. That's enough. Okay, so I hope you're all up to date on the GoldMonster anyway and how the mods work. Catches.